Cracking, everybody. How you doing? Buenos dias. Saludos. So as I get ready to go to this concert tonight, I started thinking about one of the subjects that's brought up last night, and one of those subjects was uh, why certain people come out of prison in bad standings and continue to talk about prison. One in particular person that they were talking about was, and I want to put his name out there because I got no problems with the dude, and we get along, mutual respect, and all the good things, dude. I got nothing against him. So, but I will keep it quiet on the name. If you want to look around, I'm sure you'll find it sooner or later. But check it out. Um, you, if you spend so many years in prison, you spend a lot of years in prison. Your mentality and your life experiences and anything that you kind of have to compare things to, you're going to compare it to something that happened to you in prison because that was your whole life. Um, Now, I didn't have and done um, nearly as much time as some of these other guys have done, but I've done 8 years, and I'm not normal from it. I've never gone over it. It's always there, and that's something that most people don't or couldn't possibly understand, especially if they haven't been there. That sometimes you lose your uh, uh, you lose something in you that you just can't get back. You know what I mean? So if you're in jail a long period of time and you talk about things, um, and maybe you shouldn't talk about them. Maybe you shouldn't say things like that. But if you talk about them, then maybe it's because that's the only experience you have. And you have to understand that when you're talking to people or you're listening to people, some of these individuals that are on here are have never had any other kind of life, and they're barely starting to get their life, barely start to learn about life. Because I'm telling you, after you're out for a while, your mentality starts to change. It don't change overnight. It don't take. It takes years and years and years. We're talking about. I've been out of the joint since February 2000, and I'm still changing. I'm still adjusting. I know it's hard for some people to understand that, but it's the truth. It's some of those things are. I don't know if I ever lose it. I know I'm getting to the point now where I just don't care about standings anymore because I'm not busted. I'm not living that life anymore. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I go to the store. I pay for my food. I register. I do my driver license. I have insurance. I do everything I'm supposed to do. I don't steal. I don't take advantage of anybody. I don't assault people. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm losing that where I don't care what people think about my standings. And that's new to me because it's always behind me. It's always in the back of my head. It's like, well, I got to maintain the code, but it doesn't matter to me anymore. It's getting to that point where I really don't care anymore. So last night when we were doing a live, we were talking about certain people, and people were saying, "Well, this dude, he's been out, he's on the other side, and he continued to talk about prison." It's because the dude has only been out like 5, 6 years, and he did a gang of years. And it's at 5 or 6 years when I got out, and I only did 8. I was still acting like I was busted. I was still acting, conducting myself as if I was busted. So you can't expect somebody to live their life a whole way. And that's the same thing without getting out of gangbanging and not doing into all that gangbanging stuff is you live a certain way your whole life it's hard to change, man. It is really, really hard to change. It's hard to think different. If that's the only way you ever grew up. And I know people don't like it, but the truth of the matter is people are in and out of jail. People have spent many years in jail. People have made mistakes and now I'm going to the other side. And I'm not condoning that. Please don't think I'm condoning it because I'm not. But it happens. I know some good dudes that have gone to the other side for dumb stuff. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to, hey, well, make excuses. But I've seen some, and just like most of us have seen somebody get in trouble over something stupid and land up going to the other side. Okay, and that's the truth. But that one mistake takes over all the stuff that they did prior to that. So it's kind of like, okay, I get busted and I don't tell on nobody. I take the case. I do this. I do that. I go through the whole system. I'm doing everything. And the last day, they pop the doors to get released, right? I'm going home. Say I did 15, 20 years. I'm going home. And they pop the door for me to release. The hood has been an ass. Pops the northerner's door. And at the time we're going to war, this is just hypothetical. We're going to war and the north ending runs out. He don't care if I'm getting paroled. And the fool rushes me, right? And say I just lay down. I don't want no problem. Shit, I'm going home. Then I go home. I get violated. I come back. Now I'm in trouble. Because I didn't get off. That's the kind of things I see. I did everything right and all the way to the last part of it. Where, you just want to go home. It doesn't matter when you want to go home or if you want to go home. It's what the program matters. That's what matters. That's the way their life is. So when people talk about things, it's because they can relate to those things. Whether they're out of prison or in prison, just because you don't got bars around you doesn't mean you're not in prison anymore, homie. That's just the truth of the matter. So, me personally, I try to build a little understanding and look at things at a different point of view instead of just looking at it like everybody else is looking at it. That's what I try to do because I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying to be different. I'm not trying to be the same person anymore. I'm tired of that person I used to wake up to. I just want to be me. I just want to do me. I don't want to have to worry about what the next man's going to do or what the next man did. That's just something I see. You know what I mean? So that's something that I want to bring to the table. And I did. I hope you understand. It is what it is. But like I said, you can't expect somebody to talk about something they never lived. And that's a normal life. If they've been locked up their whole life, they're going to talk about stuff that's locked up. About being locked up and related to locked up situations. They can't relate it to a street situation. If you think 5, 6 years, 10 years is enough to erase a whole lifetime of incarceration and gangbanging, you never lived that life. Have a blessed one, everyone. Bye bye.